Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be reviewing Pyrocynical's good videos, his video essays, his best exemplary content that he has on his channel. And yeah, I don't know really what else to say. I was going to make a whole speech about his channel and everything like that, but let's just forget about that for today. Let's just go straight into the topic. We're going to start out with Cuphead, and I think the Cuphead video, I think it is one of his weaker videos in the video essay tier. I think it's just, I think he made the video just to be popular and just to get views because it was a popular game at the time, and not really because he had a deep comprehension or understand something really great about the game. When I look back upon it, like it's really quite dated, I think, in its time, and I just don't think it holds up, especially because sort of Cuphead, I mean, it's funny, it's a funny game with some funny mechanics, but it isn't a game with a sort of deep lore and a deep, something really cool you can take out of it compared to some of these other lists. So for that reason, honestly, I think I might get an F tier. I mean, maybe D or F when we'll come back to it, but I might put it in F tier. And this is of course proportional to the channel, proportional not to the channel, to these videos, meaning that like the worst out of here is probably the best out of his channel overall. But yeah, okay. And I think the title is a good video about Condemned. I'm not gonna lie, I really dislike the thumbnail. I think it's a bit cringe, the thumbnail. But still, I think the video in itself, I think it really holds up. And I think this is a lot better than the Cuphead one, because I just like it because he talks about a game that none of us really heard about, or is very quite obscure, or maybe was popular at a time. And it really goes deep into it and sort of analyzes it, and it's really great. And the video, I think, was really well done, and I think it was a good tribute to the game. Of course, I think the editing on his channel, I know it's very like brain rot almost, if you will. It like all these fucking Breaking Bad references, all these sort of, these Breaking Bad, these fucking stupid MLG sort of memes that like nobody except for like him and maybe a couple of his buddies or a couple of his pals really get. Maybe a couple of his furry like pals or furry friends really understand. A couple of his herds in his animal pack, maybe they really understand that, but none of us like quote unquote normal people really get it. And I think that's some problem. That's a problem with this channel. But overall, I think his editing and explanation is really good. And this video, I think it was really well done. And I like generally when he doesn't have too many jokes, and this one didn't have too much. And I just think it was good overall. So we're going to put it, I think, in B tier, because I think there's more interesting content on the way. Hunt Down the Refund. I think this video I really liked, and compared to the other videos on the list, which are like fucking 8 hours long, like legit 8 hours fucking long, this video is actually quite short compared to this. I think it's about 30 minutes long. I think this one is really good because I think generally it works a lot better when it's condensed, and the other ones are just kind of drawn out a little bit. The funny jokes are, purposeful because the game in itself is funny. And the connection also, he also plays a role in the game, an actor in the game. So it's an actor reviewing the own game, which is very funny. I think this video is probably the best. I think it's maybe not the best. We'll come back to it, but I've just rewatched it, and it's really funny. And really, I think it's decently made. I think we're going to put an A for now, and then we might come back to it later. Fat Cry 2. Fat Cry 2, I think also is a really good video. The problem is that like I think the topic of the video game has already been covered like to death, like Far Cry 3. Wait, no, what did I say? Fat Cry 2. I meant Far Cry 3. Fat Cry 3. That's the title of the video. I don't know why he fucking calls it Fat Cry 3. I think he's fucking crying for help. Maybe that's why. But yeah, but anyway, so Fat Cry 3. I think it was good. I think it was a decent analysis. I just don't think it works too well with this game. I don't think a detailed analysis really works with this game. I think if he shortened it down a lot more, made it the same length as like if he just condensed it a lot more, I think it would be a lot more effective. I just think Far Cry 3, I know it's a good game and everything, but I just feel like it's too simple of a game, too simple of a story, too simple of a premise to really have a like 3-hour, 2-hour long video about it. I think it would work a lot better as like a hunt down the Freeman sized thing about only like 40 minutes. I think that would be a lot more effective. You know, overall the jokes are pretty good, I think, generally, but it is like that sort of that thing. It is just, it's a bit too popular, a bit too basic. I think of a video topic, but I still had some good memories. What am I talking about? Good memories. I had some good times watching the video for sure. It was definitely an enjoyable time. There's no doubt about that. I'm gonna say straight up, I think all of these videos are really good and really well done, really well edited. So for that reason, I don't think it's great. I really don't think. I just think it's one of those videos. The length of it is just too much, and it's not like something else like a TV show where you can sort of, that is permissible. And it's not like some other games that are going to come up later. It's just too much. 2 hours, 3 hours, it's just too much for Far Cry 3. If it was another game, like let's say like a Skyrim or some other like huge open, this is a huge open world game, but it doesn't have as many side quests, as many details as opposed to it. I mean, it pretty much, I think the story is like the same level as a Call of Duty story. I think it's too much for this video. That's what I think. But still, good video. I think it's a C tier. The Fall of Fall Guys, I think this goes in the same, it kind of has the same very similar vibe to the Cuphead one, the Fall of Fall Guys. It's just like, I don't like this sort of, I think the topic has been done to death. What happened to Fall Guys? Well, why did it fall off and everything like that? It's just too basic bitch. And I think he's a lot better when he talks about these fucking obscure, weird games as opposed to these basic bitch sort of videos that everybody knows. I think this video was more of his commentary style video as opposed to, let's say, his game review video. And for that reason, I think it goes into F or it goes into D. We might come back to it later. The Cry of Fear one, the one that he loves, I think this one, the Cry of Fear one, you know, the all in the head joke. It's all in the head. Everything like that. Oh, it's all in my fucking head. Yeah, I think this video was pretty good. I really, and this is, I think, yeah, this is when you start to get where he starts to cover. The first one where he really covers something really obscure that not a lot of people know too much and doesn't have enough like traction upon it. And that means the idea is really fresh. The idea is really new. I think you're going to become a common series about this. And also the game in general is really, really interesting. And he explains it, I think, really well. And he explains how all the stuff works and everything, and how everything, I'm not going to spoil the ending of the video game or the video, but how everything that is set up by the game explains the ending of the game. And for that reason, I really like this video. I don't think it's as good as Hunt Down the Refund, but it is definitely a good video. There's no doubt about that. I think this is Euphoria. I think Ludwig said this was a fucking $1 million video. It wasn't. I think that's what he claimed. At least it didn't make nearly that much, but it did get some views, and I think it's pretty iconic. The thumbnail is iconic, and it's in its own right itself. In its own right. Did Pyrocynical make Utopia have a season 3? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Pretty interesting. For a person that knew nothing about this TV show, explained it really well, and almost made me want to watch it. I didn't watch it at the end. I just watched the video, but I think it was pretty good overall, because the series in itself is really good, and he explained the concept, I think, in a very interesting manner. And I don't think he made too many jokes. And also the intro was really good when he explained like why this thing is important and everything like that. Yeah, I think this one deserves a. But yeah, at the same time, it is a bit long, and it is kind of replacing the role of the series in a way, because you could just watch this video and not watch the series, which kind of takes a little bit away from the mystery of watching it. But the series in itself is so fucking interesting and so weird and so bizarre. It's just really well done, and I think we're gonna put in B tier. This one is just this one, like the second best game you played or something like that. I think this one is good. I just think it's too similar in concept and in the game is just too similar to the Cry of Fear one, and I think that's pretty obvious with the thumbnails and the sort of vibe of the game. I think maybe if it was the thumbnail was a bit different, or maybe some things were a bit different when he explained the game. It's just too much of a same video, like watching this one and the Cry. I know they're completely different games, and also the ending and like the sort of vibe of the game is like very similar, both being survival horrors, having same sort of atmosphere, and always like in the video being recalled to the other game. And for that reason, I don't think it's as effective. And also, it's the second best one, so it's not as effective. I think it's a C tier, a lower C tier. Yeah, I think the length, honestly, I think anything that goes over 2 hours, in my opinion, I think is just a little bit, unless if you're making like an amazing thing, it's a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, whatever his choice is, he can do whatever he wants at the end of the day. This one, I think this Kane and Lynch 2, this video fucked me up. It's such a depressing game, and the game has such a I'm not blaming him, by the way. I'm not blaming him, just to make that clear. I'm blaming the game. The game has such a depressing like atmosphere, such a depressing like sort of aura around it, and the situations are so like sad, and also like very I don't know, for a lack of a better word, they're so like degenerate, the actions, the characters. There's almost like no ray of sunshine in this game at all. It's such a gritty and almost disgusting game, and I think that's like the real value of it. I'm not personally a fan of that. I always like my content to have at least some glimmer of joy or some glimmer of hope. But this video game does not have any of that, and he explains it really well. And I think this video was really well done, and I think this is one of his best videos, because he takes a game that nobody played, everybody thought was shit, and he explains it in a way that's like, why is this game good? It's not good because of like the mechanics or anything like that. It just has such a gritty atmosphere, and that's why it's good. But that's why it's, the best game you shouldn't play. So yeah, for that reason, I think it should go. Yep, I wouldn't rewatch the video, honestly. It's just like the video game. it caused me like to have like it's like fucking sadness for like I think 2 hours, 3 hours after watching the video. I was just like, oh fuck, there's just so many degenerates out there. And this is just like, I know it's a video game, obviously it's not real life, but it made me very sad. Like there's no glimmer of hope kind of in this video game. But yeah, but I think the video itself was really well made by Pyrocynical, and for that reason I think I'm going to put it up in A tier. Iron Lung I think was also in this sort of, I think it is better. Let me get that straight. I think it is better. But not, I don't think by very, very much. I feel like it was also a sort of cash grab sort of idea. Other YouTubers have made a video on it about the same like sort of topic. I feel like if you went, if nobody else talked about it, maybe it would have been a lot more interesting. But just too many YouTubers have talked about it before. And I think that, you know, it was a little bit too redundant and a little bit too much of a cash grab, in my opinion. I think a D tier is perfect for it, though I think it is a bit better. I think it is a little bit more better when you come back at it than these, because at least it's a horror game and at least there is some sort of lore behind it that you can explain. Cruelty Squad. I think this one... Yeah, I think this one, the Cruelty Squad video, I think was really well done. My fucking gripe with it was the costume. The costume that he put on was so fucking... it was so bad. It was so weird and bad. I think he should have spent a little bit more time in the costume design of the video. It kind of takes you a little bit out of the video. But it's not too bad. I mean, like the video in itself, besides that point. Which is a detail. The video was explained really well, even though it was a popular game that a lot of, you know, like Video Game Donkey played, nobody really went into the lore and explained the video game properly. And plus he met the developer of the game, and also the tier list kind of helped the pacing of the video a lot more. I think I really like this video, and I think it's really well. I think this one was really well done. I think it might be my favorite out of these. It's not my favorite overall. The response, I don't know what the fuck why the furry response is here. Maybe we'll go back to that later. No, we won't. But yeah, don't use this file. I feel like this is a very similar category. It's almost on the same category as these three ones, but it's not. I think because he does add his own spin to it and his own pacing to it, that I think makes it a lot better. I'm not saying it's on the top tier of his content, but I think it's a lot better than these ones, which I felt like these were more of a cash grab. This is almost that level of a cash grab one, but I think it still had some depth to it, and it was such an interesting story of the mod and how it was created, that I think it is deserving of a C tier in his content. I think the Lethal Company one I think was also a cash grab, but because Lethal Company has so much weird little details and just so much hidden lore behind the game, as well as being a popular game that nobody really talks about, this video was absolutely I think this video was warranted. The thumbnail is a little bit suspect. That's going to drop it down a couple points, but this video was definitely warranted as opposed to these other ones, even though it is on like a super popular game and the sort of the same vibe. So for that reason, I think it is let's put it here, just behind Fat Cry. I think, you know, we're gonna bump up Fat Cry and we're gonna put the Lethal Company one at the top of C tier. The Half-Life 3, this video I think was really well done, and I think this is I think, guys, I think we're in a fucking renaissance here. I think this is when the videos start to get good. Half-Life 3, the Entropy 2, Entropy 0, I believe. No, Entropy 0 Entropy 01, Entropy 02. Explained it really well, explained the story really well, and I think that honestly a really fun video. The only problem is I think there's a couple of things that doesn't make it on a super duper S tier, and I think it's going to put it a little bit lower. And the thing is, I think with Entropy, from what I understand, it's very the characters are very simplistic, and there's not a lot of deep motivation behind the characters, and the main character is just doing this for this daughter, and there's not real struggle and motivation behind it, and you can't really connect with the main character because the main character is some sort of bad guy, and you can't really connect with his actions, which kind of makes it a little bit, or a lot, no, actually a little bit weaker, I think, than his other videos. But I still really liked it, and I still really enjoyed it. My buckshot roulette one. This was on the same, it is from the same vibe of oh, this is the same sort of popularity thing. Oh, he's just doing it for the popularity. But this one, I think this one honestly was my favorite to watch. First of all, the length of it wasn't too bearing, and it was really good because he explained what buckshot roulette was. Popular game, but after that he explained all the little games that the creator of buckshot roulette made, and that was the best, single-handedly the best part of the video, where he explained all these niche weird games and the lore behind the games. That was the best part. You should do that more. Just talk about these games very briefly. You don't go over on a fucking whole shebang with your fucking Breaking Bad memes. I think I kind of like the Breaking Bad memes when he puts them in. But still, yeah. Buckshot roulette one, I think the pacing of it, I think was really well done. And for that reason, I think it is going to get the top of the A tier. And we might work out a couple of stuff here and there. Darkwood. I haven't finished Darkwood. Because I have, I'm not going to fucking raw dog one Pyrocynical video. I mean, the video is 8 hours long. But besides the point. The video, I think, from what I've seen, pacing is so fucking good. It's so good because it explains, as the intro in itself is really well done. Interviews with the game creators is well done. The jokes, I think they're a little bit too much. I wish there was a couple less jokes about Poland and this sort of reoccurring jokes that we just expect a Pyrocynical to do. Every 15 minutes there must be a Breaking Bad reference. Especially in this video, there must be a reference about Europe. Oh, in the next 45 minutes there must be a reference about some Half-Life game. Oh, there must be I feel like it is a bit too predictable from time to time. That might just me be hating, but still, overall, I really like this video. I think the costume was a little bit too much. So yeah, I think it is. I might put it I think it is a little bit too recent, I think, to put an S tier. Petscop. That's what you came for. That's what you already know. The little thing that everybody wants fucking Petscop 2. I don't know why he's not publishing it. I would do it if I was him. This video I really liked, for obvious reasons, and I think there's a reason why everybody's clamoring on for Petscop 2. Because this video, I think, was the best video that he made. And the reason is because pacing is good. The jokes are sparse enough that you still sort of get a deep connection with the game. And not being a bit too cringe. And when there are jokes, it kind of relieves the sort of tension. But I prefer Pyrocynical when he doesn't do and as many jokes. And he did. I really like the intro to this video because it's sort of a bait and switch. Of we're gonna crack around with some jokes for the first 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go talk about deep series of the video. thank you very much for watching. I think I've been rambling on a bit too much about Pyrocynical. If you're here at the end of the video, I really want you to like and subscribe. But more than that, I want you to take some time out of your day, do something nice for yourself. If you're religious, please pray for yourself and for the people around you, because they really need it. At least I don't know if they need it, but that's from my experience as being a human being. People there is an effect when prayer happens. If that was a bit too heavy and you are sort of a furry, degenerate, Pyrocynical fan, welcome to the channel. What more can I say? I'm the grifter. I'm grifting around, and I'm grifting on Pyrocynical now. So thank you very much for watching. This YouTuber was if Pyrocynical is watching, you were a large part of my childhood, and you maybe if your videos weren't good, but you were there, and these are some of the generally good videos, and please continue making them. They're really good can I say from the bottom of my heart, or is that a bit too sort of parasocial? But I'm just going to say these videos are really good. Please make Petscop 2. Please.